gang violence and other kind of violence.
Get away! I could be at work, at school, in my car, and I can still get shot by the police. But I can get shot anywhere.
So it is what it is.
What's good, Shadow Realm? It's the Black Gen Z Mindset. Make sure you go ahead and like, comment, share, subscribe. Let's get into the video.
Well, this morning, investigators are still working to piece together what led up to a 21-year-old UW-Whitewater student athlete being shot and killed just days before classes began. Police say 21-year-old Kara Welsh was shot and killed in an apartment near Main and Whitewater streets late Friday night. A 23-year-old man was also in the apartment and arrested. Police say the two got into an altercation before the shooting. Now, this shooting happened less than a mile away from the UW-Whitewater campus, and it happened the day before some students started to move into campus.
Wow.
The Whitewater community is in disbelief.
It's very uncommon for this town. I mean, again, it's a small community. It's a very friendly community. So it's a bit groundbreaking when stuff like this happens.
Now, Welsh was a standout athlete, recently winning an individual national title on the vault just last year. In a statement, her coach, Jen Regan, called Welsh a powerful athlete, dedicated teammate, and the light in everyone's dark days. The UW-Whitewater Warhawk Athletic Facebook page posted a tribute to Welsh over the weekend, saying hearts are broken after the tragic loss. The school's chancellor says the campus will have support available for students and will fly the campus flag at half-staff tomorrow. There is also a GoFundMe set up for Welsh's family.
The UW-Whitewater community is mourning the loss of a standout gymnast shot and killed in an off-campus apartment Friday night. 21-year-old Kara Welsh died in a shooting near Whitewater and Main Streets in Whitewater, about a mile from campus.
Wow. Now, I mean, the fact that you have somebody who crashed out and took the life of such a talented, precious young lady is heartbreaking. And we've seen these incidents happen over and over again. This is, in fact, a case of domestic violence, and we actually have some pretty freaky context that I'll show you guys at the end of this video, and it'll maybe give you more understanding of how this situation could happen. So let's watch.
Police arrested a 23-year-old man. 12 News investigative reporter James Stratton is in Whitewater tonight with how the two knew each other and how the campus community is responding.
Tonight, students at UW-Whitewater prepare to start the semester, some while remembering Kara Welsh.
Kara was a sweetheart. She was one of the best people that you could ever meet, too. Her family did a great job raising a wonderful woman.
Police say a 23-year-old man who Welsh knew shot her multiple times Friday night at this off-campus apartment near Whitewater and Main Streets in Whitewater. By the time police got to the apartment late Friday night, they say Welsh had died. Friends say the pair were dating and Kara was moving in before fall classes started. She studied at...
Wow. So she was dating an individual, and this ended up, I guess, spiraling out of control. I don't know the inner workings of their relationship, what happened to make this man crash out, but obviously there's never a reason to do so. There's never a reason to take someone's life over relationship issues or relationship problems. And this is a message that the community needs to hear, and everybody needs to hear in every community, in fact, because we've seen these domestic situations increase and domestic violence increase since COVID. So, rest in peace to this young lady. I know that she will be missed.
Economics and was a national champion gymnast. Brayton Wilkerson says he was friends with both the suspect and Welsh.
Sometimes I beat myself up and be like if I was able to see them that day, maybe just one more joke, one more memory we can make, could change.
Mary Horning owns the pet store located beneath the apartments. Police grabbed footage from her security cameras.
Shocked, this is a small town. That young lady seems like part of the university community. So it's just, it was just shocking.
Students on campus say they were just as shocked to hear the news.
I think it's so scary because it happened so close, and she was a student. It could have been any one of us.
It's a tragedy, honestly.
Whitewater police recommend first-degree intentional homicide charges for that 23-year-old. 12 News is not naming him because the DA's office has not charged him. Classes at UW-Whitewater are set to start for fall semester tomorrow morning. In Whitewater for
Now, what's the DA's office doing? They dragging their feet on this.
Tonight, I'm James Stratton, WISN 12 News.
UW-Whitewater is offering support for athletes and students ahead of classes starting tomorrow. Athletic Director Ryan Callahan knew Welsh's leadership well.
Everything you want in a student athlete, whether it's D1, D2, D3, doesn't matter, it's Kara. Great student, great athlete, great leader, great member of the campus community, so it's tough.
In Welsh's hometown of Plainfield, Illinois, people tied white bows around trees in her memory. And right now in the WISN 12 app, the emotional interview with Welsh's former gymnastics coach. We also have a link to a GoFundMe page started by her loved ones to help with funeral expenses.
Tonight, several communities are mourning the death of 21-year-old Kara Welsh. Kara was a gymnast from Plainfield, Illinois, who competed on the UW-Whitewater team. Police say she was shot and killed in an apartment Friday night. The suspect is a 23-year-old man who is facing several charges, including first-degree intentional homicide, endangering safety by use of a dangerous weapon, and disorderly conduct while armed. Good evening and thanks for joining us. I'm Grace Hodek. UW-Whitewater's athletic director says Kara was an amazing young woman, leader, and teammate. Our Lucas Kim has you covered on how the university is healing and honoring her tonight.
I'm at UW-Whitewater's campus, where the Warhawk community is mourning the death of a student athlete who was killed just days before her senior year was supposed to begin.
Wow. Right away, you just knew there was so many people that were impacted by Kara's, personality, her leadership, just being a great teammate.
The university's athletic director and assistant chancellor Ryan Callahan says the UW-Whitewater community is devastated by Kara's death. Kara was part of the gymnastics team. Callahan says her teammates and staff were in disbelief when hearing the news.
I got to know the team over the last few years, and Kara's been just a huge part of that team. 2023, she was the vault national title. She's been in the rotation every year that she's been there. So from the, my relationship with her and the rest of the team, it's been very strong.
The 21-year-old.
Wow. So obviously had a lot of talent, a lot of potential, and for it all to have just been taken away in an instance, whatever this dude had going on, he wanted to end her life. He wanted to hurt her family, hurt her in a way that maybe he felt like he was done. I don't know, but it just seems so peculiar that you would crash out on, somebody that you claim to love.
World college athlete was tragically killed Friday night. Callahan says the city of Whitewater is still investigating the motive and suspect who is currently in custody. He tells me a memorial and vigil for Kara will be on campus sometime this week.
It makes it a lot easier to get through times like these when you have such a supportive community from the student athletes within the team, from the community itself, and other campus areas that are helping out with the grieving process for all of us.
A GoFundMe page has been created by family friends of Welsh for additional financial costs. You can find the link to that GoFundMe on our website. In Whitewater, Lucas Kim, 27 News.
Before Kara was a part of the UW-Whitewater's gymnastics program, she went to Aspire Gymnastics Academy in Joliet, Illinois. The gym's owner and head coach trained Kara for nearly 10 years before her college gymnastics career took off. He says Kara's family was involved with Aspire Gymnastics Academy and says she has always had that drive that college scouts would look for in athletes.
For me, remembering her is just, she was always in a good mood, always ready to work and work hard. Just like their parents clearly did the right things. She was respectful. She was a hard worker. She was a good kid.
He says Kara will always be remembered as a good mentor for the younger athletes.
Tributes are pouring in for star gymnast and UW-Whitewater student Kara Welsh. Police say she was shot and killed Friday in an apartment near the UWW campus just 4 days before the start of the new semester. 12 News reporter Emily Paulfall spoke with Welsh's longtime coach.
She was a bulldog. I mean, she from right away, just hardest worker, very respectful.
A hard worker and a steadfast friend on and off the mat. That's how 21-year-old gymnastics star and UW Whitewater student Kara Welsh is being remembered.
And you see something like this, and she was making the right choices. She was doing the right stuff, and it's just hard to wrap my head around.
Whitewater police say Welsh was shot and killed Friday night in an apartment near Main and Whitewater streets. It's less than a mile from campus. Officers arrested a 23-year-old man at the apartment. Police say Welsh and the man had a fight before the shooting. She was a standout member of UW Whitewater's gymnastics team and won a national title last year.
She was going into her senior year. So when we brought the team in yesterday and we told the team, right away, you just knew there was so many people that were impacted by Kara's, personality, her leadership.
Nick Becker coached Welsh for 9 years and says the bond she shared with her teammates was special.
They are each other's best friends. They are all like sisters. I'm sorry.
A loss that's indescribable and a community trying to be strong for Welsh's family.
I hope parents make sure that they hug their kids. It's just crazy.
Whitewater police say the 23-year-old man is being held in the Walworth County Jail, and they've referred multiple charges to the district attorney's office, including first-degree intentional homicide. Police ask anyone with information about the shooting to give them a call. Emily Pofall, WISN 12 News.
The university says it is making counselors available to those in need. Flags on campus will be flown at half-staff Tuesday, the first day of classes. You can read the full statement from the university and find the GoFundMe for Welsh's family. All of that right now on the 12 News app.
An outpouring of support today for the family of a Southwest suburban college student who was shot and killed near her campus in Wisconsin.
Those who knew 21-year-old Kara Welsh are mourning and remembering the gymnast by wrapping ribbons around trees in their neighborhood. Our Sade Gray is live in Plainfield, where she spent the day speaking with neighbors. Sade?
Erica and Marie, the first thing you notice when you drive into this quiet neighborhood are these white ribbons right behind me. They're on just about every tree and light pole. Neighbors and friends of Kara Welsh made sure she would be honored and remembered today.
We can do that. Another light pole.
White ribbons filled this Plainfield neighborhood as friends and neighbors of 21-year-old Kara Welsh wrapped them around trees and light poles to honor and remember her. The standout college gymnast died Friday night after a shooting at an off-campus apartment near the University of Wisconsin-Whitewater. Police say she was shot during a fight with a man she knew. Welsh was set to begin her senior year at UW-Whitewater on Tuesday. She was a standout on the vault, and according to those who knew her, so much more. Now friends and neighbors are spending their Labor Day coming together.
I'm so sorry, Nick, and I'm sorry that you had to come home to this. It's a bad thing to come together on.
Sarah Torello and Nicole Conrad say they've known Welsh since they were little girls. They grew up together in this neighborhood. Torello now relies on her fond memories and how she was the light in every room.
She was the good in every memory that.
It's interesting. We haven't heard anything from friends or family about the dynamic of the relationship, if the parents or family approved of the relationship. No real details about what went on with this young lady and the man who took her life.
That we all had growing up. So we're just trying to remember her through the good parts.
Police arrested a 23-year-old man who they believe shot Welsh, and they also recommend a charge of first-degree intentional homicide. They have not yet named him yet. Reporting live in Plainfield, Sade Gray, CBS News, Chicago.
Sade, thank you.
Start with breaking news in the death of a UW Whitewater star gymnast. Whitewater police say they arrested 23-year-old Chad Richard in the murder of Kara Welsh.
So here you have it. Chad Richards arrested for the murder of Kara Welsh. Looks like he got a pretty thick neck. Pause. Looks like a big dude. And the fact that he crashed out on this young lady, talented gymnast, is despicable.
Welsh died Friday night, shot at an apartment near Main and Whitewater Streets, just blocks from campus. Welsh was shot multiple times Friday. Investigators say she knew Richards, and friends tell 12 News the two were dating. Welsh, originally from Plainfield, Illinois, was set to start her senior year in the College of Business today. The incident has shaken the community as classes begin on campus.
We all have to kind of be more on edge with things. It makes it walking around campus just that this can happen, even though it wasn't on campus. We still have to be more careful.
The Whitewater Police Department recommended charges, including first-degree intentional homicide against Richards. Flags at UW-Whitewater are flying at half staff for Welsh today. Right now on the WISN 12 app, hear from someone who says he was friends with Welsh and the man in custody.
What's good, Shadow Realm? It's your boy Jenquavius Jackson, and y'all already know I'm demonetized and shadow banned in this bitch. So if you want to contribute, go to the Cash App, the PayPal, the GoFundMe, or join the Patreon. Also, don't forget to visit the merch store for all your favorite BGZM News 17 gear, including our exclusive Trump is a Blood t-shirt. Go fast before they sell out. They are already flying off the shelves, no cap. And remember, these super gremlins are on demon time.
We are now hearing from family members of the UW-Whitewater gymnast who was shot and killed Friday. The man arrested appeared in court just a few hours ago in Walworth County. And that is where we find our Stephanie Quirk, who joins us live now with what happened inside. Steph?
Yeah, police referred charges against 23-year-old Chad Richards to the district's attorney's office. Now, while those are under review, Richards did appear in court today via video call for a bond hearing, and the victim's family was also there.
And it was an honor and a privilege to grow up with Kara, be around Kara.
An emotional scene in a Walworth County courtroom Tuesday.
There are truly not enough words.
As the older sister of 21-year-old Kara Welsh addressed the judge at a bond hearing for 23-year-old Chad Richards. He's the man police accuse of shooting and killing Welsh.
Mr. Richards, is that you by video?
Police say Welsh, a star gymnast at UW-Whitewater, was found dead and shot multiple times just before midnight Friday. Police say Richards and Welsh knew each other and got into some sort of fight before the shooting.
I will be here to make sure that Kara is being fought for just as hard as you would have fought for me.
While charges are not officially filed against Richards, officers did refer charges of first-degree intentional homicide, endangering safety by use of a dangerous weapon, and disorderly conduct to the district attorney's office for review.
Given the gravity of this offense, it is the most grave offense that can be charged in the state of Wisconsin.
The 23-year-old's attorney said,
Well, we see the judge. Hopefully she's not woke and will pursue the highest form of justice for this super gremlin on demon time. Because this is, it's a horrible crime. And this guy, I mean, he's not showing any remorse. It was almost like he just wanted to crash out.
Offense that can be charged in the state of Wisconsin.
The 23-year-old's attorney says Richards is also a student at UW-Whitewater and originally from Loves Park, Illinois. The university's website also shows him on Whitewater's 2021-22 wrestling roster. In court today, a judge ordered Richards have no physical contact on UW-Whitewater campus and kept his original bond set at $1 million cash.
I have no...
Woo! So he got a $1 million bond, got to put up 10% of that, so he's got to put up $100,000. Or he's staying behind and locked up. The fact that he's getting a bond in general is outrageous to me because he just killed a woman, but it's very interesting who they give bonds and who they don't.
No reason to modify that bond. This is a violent crime.
My little sister Kara is the light of my life.
Prosecutors say those charges are likely to go through by Friday. Now, they were in court today discussing that bond amount as well as the no contact order for campus. Richards remains in custody in the Walworth County Jail at $1 million cash bond.
Reporting live in Walworth County, Stephanie Quirk, Fox 6 News.
Stephanie, thank you for that.
Investigators identify the man they say killed a standout college gymnast.
Police say Chad Richards is the gunman who killed UW Whitewater gymnast Kara Welsh in an off-campus apartment Friday night. 12 News' Hannah Hilliard is in Walworth County with the emotional response from Welsh's family.
It was an honor and a privilege to grow up with Kara.
Kara Welsh's family sharing their heartbreak publicly for the first time in court Tuesday, as we got our first look.
This is the 115 criminal call.
At 23-year-old Chad Richards, the man investigators say shot and killed Welsh, a UW Whitewater management major and star gymnast.
He is himself a student at UW Whitewater where he's studying communications.
Friends tell 12 News the two were dating.
We was talking all that week, and then we were supposed to hang out on Friday. And then that last minute he had canceled. He said he had to help her move in.
Braden Wilkerson never heard from either Richards or Welsh that Friday night. Instead, police say Richards shot Welsh following an argument in an off-campus apartment.
Wow. We need deputies to respond over to 147 West Whitewater Street for a possible gunshot victim.
The victim's family Tuesday.
Kara was the light of my life, and I have truly no idea what I'm going to do without her.
Speaking not about the suspect, but about Welsh's strength and selflessness and their newfound determination to let everyone know.
My worst fear has always been losing my best friend. Now that it has happened, I will not stop fighting for her and telling her story to anyone and everyone that will listen.
While Richards is right now being held in custody on a $1 million bond, prosecutors do expect to file those formal charges against him by Friday. Reporting in Walworth County, Hannah Hilliard, WYSN 12 News.
Now, those charges police referred to the district attorney's office do include first-degree intentional homicide.
The man accused of killing a standout college gymnast appeared in a courtroom for the first time in Wisconsin. Kara Welsh was just 21 years old.
The Plainfield native's family was also in the courtroom, and her sister did speak.
Tia Ewing has more on some of the bombshells and the new information we learned that were dropped in court today. Tia?
Yeah, some really interesting things to hear inside of that courtroom, Terrence and Sylvia. We did learn the bond is set at over $1 million. The defense attorneys for Chad Richards wanted the judge to lower that, but of course that didn't happen. What also hasn't happened are official charges against the 23-year-old. The Whitewater Police Department forwarded 3 charges to the Walworth County District Attorney's Office, including first-degree intentional homicide. The judge says the district attorney has until Friday to file those charges against Richards. The 23-year-old at one point was a member of the University of Wisconsin Whitewater wrestling team. It's unknown, though, if he still was on the team. It's been reported that he was dating Kara Welsh, helping her to move into her apartment on Whitewater Street when there was some type of altercation Friday night. Police say the Plainfield native was shot and killed. Whitewater police, they also said this: the case is not closed. This is still an active and ongoing investigation. Of course, this is a story that we will continue to follow. Terrence?
I'm Terrence Lee on the live desk. Tonight, we're getting to know more about a standout college gymnast from the southwest suburbs who was murdered over the weekend. The neighborhood in Plainfield where Kara Welsh grew up is filled with white ribbons wrapped around trees and light poles in her honor. Police say she was shot and killed in her off-campus apartment near the University of Wisconsin Whitewater Friday night, and a 23-year-old man is now in custody. Kara was starting her senior year, majoring in business. On the vault, she was a national champion and 2-time All-American. The athletic director remembers her as not just a fantastic athlete, but an even more incredible person.
Her loss is going to be felt forever. We talk a lot about legacy, from our staff and to our students, and, what's your legacy going to be here? And Kara left a legacy that's ingrained in gymnastics and Warhawk athletics forever. And we're just so grateful for the time that we had with someone like Kara.
The university is working with Kara's family to organize a memorial service on campus. And I just checked, a GoFundMe for her family has already raised more than $29,000. Kara was just 21 years old. Scott.
It's a loss that has hit close to home for many loved ones here in Plainfield and those that got close to Kara Welsh over in Wisconsin. There will be a remembrance tomorrow morning on the street in Plainfield where Welsh grew up. The 21-year-old was found dead in her off-campus apartment near the University of Wisconsin-Whitewater on Friday night. Police say there was a confrontation between her and a 23-year-old man before she was shot multiple times. Welsh was majoring in management and was a standout member of that gymnastics team. The university's athletic director says they informed that team last night of her tragic death as he and a childhood friend of Welsh explained the kind of person she was.
Right away, you just knew there was so many people that were impacted by Kara's personality, her leadership, just being a great teammate.
Every memory I have was pretty much with her. We went to school together. We played in my yard together. We ran around as kids together. Mm-hmm. Every picture I have with her was just something hilarious. She was, she was the funniest person I knew when I was growing up.
Wow.
Now, that 23-year-old suspect is in custody and facing several charges tonight. Police say they believe he knew Welsh.
All right, guys. So here is a little context of this Kara Welsh murder. And apparently this is someone who was friends or a potential acquaintance of the shooter, Chad Richards. So I want to read this before we close out, just to give you guys maybe an idea of this young man's character. So the anonymous account goes, and take this with a grain of salt. I'm not reporting this as if this is fact. I'm just reporting this, speculatively. So allegedly should follow every sentence that I read in this comment here. But it says, I have been acquainted with the suspect since high school. We went to high school together in the same grade, and I still would see him at the gym here in Illinois all the time when he's not at school, aka very recently just spoke with him less than a week ago. His name is Chad Richards, and he was a whitewater athlete in wrestling, as well as Kara's boyfriend. He has always been a great dude to me and our friends, but A is 5'10", 230 pounds of muscle, and always wanted to fight, and B has always joked about killing, shooting people, also having weapons like machetes and barbed wire, wrapped baseball bats in his back seat, always waiting for someone to test him, even though not many would due to his stature and fighting experience. My friends and I predicted something like this happening for a long time, but didn't think it would go this far or be this messed up. Just got his firearms license a couple months ago, took a concealed carry class immediately after, owed a friend of mine some money, and when Chad paid him back on Tuesday, he told him he loved him and would miss him. This was likely premeditated and just so tragic. I have no idea why he would do something like this. So if this comment is true, that definitely validates the premeditated murder charges and just reassures that we are indeed dealing with a super gremlin on demon time.
Gang violence and other kind of violence. So it is what it is.